So in the definition, we can say that sunscreens preparations are those preparation. Generally, they may be in the form of lotion, in the form of spray, in the form of gel, or any other type of preparation which is used to protect your skin from the sunlight or the ultraviolet radiation. This kind of preparation generally absorb the UV rays or the harmful rays from your sun, and they will protect your skin. Or sometimes this preparation may coat protective film on the surface of the skin, and they will avoid the entry of sun rays, or simply they can block the sun rays and they will protect your skin. So this is the simple mechanism, principle behind the sunscreen preparation. Now, in starting, we'll see regarding the your harmful rays or the types of rays which are coming from the sun. Generally, sunlight reaches to the surface of the earth. It contains the different types of rays: visible rays, ultraviolet rays, and infrared rays. Among these, infrared and visible rays are safe one, but ultraviolet rays are harmful one. Generally, ultraviolet rays, particularly having the wavelength below 320 micron. So they are responsible for most of therapeutic as well as noxious effects, and we attribute to sunlight. Actually, the ultraviolet rays which are coming from the sun having the 100 to 400 wavelength, they are having the dangerous effect or the harmful effect on the human body. So that's why we should avoid ultraviolet rays of 100 to the 400 wavelength. So for that purpose, to protect it or to protect the your skin from this such kind of ultraviolet rays, we have to take care. So there are the so many ways by which we can take the care from your ultraviolet rays. And then after the ultraviolet rays, from 400 to 700 nanometer, whatever the light is there, that light is called as the visible light. And above the 700 wavelength, that light is called as the infrared light. But normally we are feeling the general type of light, and we cannot categorize it. Normal people, we cannot categorize it as a ultraviolet light, visible light, or the infrared light. But if we are measuring the intensity of that light in the form of wavelength or the lambda max, then we can find out that in the sun rays there are the three types of rays having the different wavelength. Among these, the least wavelength, that is 100 to 400 range, that light which is having the that type of wavelength, they are harmful to the human bodies, and rest of rays are not harmful to the human bodies. So this is we have to note. Then regarding the skin damage, how to we can say how the your sun rays are damaging your skin. Generally, the ultraviolet spectrum is broken into the three parts. That ultraviolet rays again is having the three parts, that is called as the very high energy, that is the UVC. It means the sun rays are having the 100 to 200 wavelength. They are having the very much harmful, or they are very much powerful to give the harmful or the damage to your skin. So they are called as the very high energy light or the UVC light. Then another way is the high energy, that is the lies between the 200 or 280 nanometer to 315 nanometer. So this is the wavelength range. As the wavelength range is increases, the harmness is getting decreases. Okay, so they are called as the high energy one. Then after that, low energy one, the low energy light is having the 300 to 400 ultraviolet wavelength. So that under this wavelength, that light are having the low energy and they are less harmful compared to the high energy and very high energy light. So this is about the your ultraviolet rays, which are categorized into the three different categories depending on its wavelength. It is important one that wavelength will determine the harmfulness of that rays. Then second thing is that the skin damage, how the your skin is getting damaged. So it is also we can categorize about the your uh, type of rays. Generally, UVA, UVB, UVC. These are the three types of your ultraviolet rays, and depending on their wavelength, we have categorized them. Generally, very high energy radiation is uh, generally blocked by your ozone layer. So, such kind of ultraviolet rays, which are having the uh, wavelength 100 to 200, they are very much harmful, but because of the natural protection of the ozone layer, they are not coming up to the human beings. But in the several part, suppose the ozone layer is not proper, or there is a, you can say, thin layer because of the pollution, so in that part, that people may feel or they may expose such kind of very high energy radiation ultraviolet rays because of the absence of the or the damage of the ozone layer. Then another is the high energy radiation layers. Generally, they can cause the immediate damage to your skin when you are exposing it to the your light. Then low energy radiation can penetrate deeper into the skin and can cause the long term damage. Here we are having the high energy radiation as well as the low energy radiation. Generally, these two are we are most probably exposing, and many times we are having the low energy radiation problem, and they are having the high penetration power. They can penetrate deeper into your skin. See, this is the, about the summary of your radiation and at what extent they can cause the damage to your skin. This is the first ray, that is the UVC, which is having the wavelength from 200 to 290 nanometer, or from 100 to 290 nanometer. They are called as the UVC. They can damage the DNA of human being, and it is not visible by the your naked eye. That rays are we cannot visi- see that rays. Then another ray is the UVB, that is the second one. This is start from 290 to 320 nanometer. So this is called as the, we can say, um, less very damaging rays. So they can cause the sunburn. They also can damage the DNA if we are exposing for longer time, and they can cause the skin cancer also. Then last one is the little bit less damaging rays from the ultraviolet rays. So they are having the 320 nanometer to 400 nanometer wavelength. They can have the ability to tan your skin, and they can cause the skin aging. Then DNA damage may be possible, as well as the skin cancer is also possible. So it is depending on your exposure. If you are giving the longer time exposure, then only it is possible to have the skin cancer, DNA damage. But most probably tanning is possible by the normal exposure. Now, why we are using the sunscreen preparations? Generally, sunscreen preparations is used to protect your skin from the damaging by the ultraviolet rays, as well as we can avoid the skin cancer, we can avoid the sunburn, as well as we can improve the natural glow of your skin if we are applying the sunscreen preparation. Now, the principle behind the effectiveness of the sunscreen preparations. Generally, a protective layer can be provided to the skin that prevent the ultraviolet rays to reach the skin, either by absorbing that rays or by reflecting that rays toward the outside. So this is the, we can say, first principle behind your sunscreen preparation. When we are applying the sunscreen preparation, generally when we, rays are exposing to your screen, and if you have already applied your sunscreen preparation, generally what they used to do, they will absorb that all the rays, and that rays will not reach to your skin. first way to protect your skin. And sometimes that preparation which is you have applied as a sunscreen preparation, it will reflect your light into the another direction. That light will not come toward your skin, and it will not reach to your skin. So by this way we can having the absorbing or by reflecting the that rays. So as like as mirror is reflecting your rays, so in the same way your preparation may reflect that rays. So by this two way we can protect your skin from the harmful sun rays. These kind of preparations are very much effective and they are nowadays used widely by the peoples. Generally, zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, these are the content of that preparation, and these are the major ingredients which are having the ability to absorb the sun rays as well as to reflect that sun rays. Then another way to protect your skin by using the sunscreen or the another function of the sunscreen preparation or the another principle of your sunscreen preparation. They to incorporate the substance in the preparation to filter the sun rays by absorbing medium range ultraviolet rays and allowing the rays of higher wavelength to pass. Generally, this is the another kind of preparation which are having the ability to filter the sun rays. So as like as your green net is there, green net is there outside, we are using that green net which is filtering the sunlight. So in the same way, some preparations are available. They can filter your sun rays and the harmful sun rays. They will catch there itself, and the normal sun rays will pass toward your skin. So these are the we can say called as the modern type of preparations. Then UV filters. There are the so many UV filters are there, ultraviolet light filters, which can block the filters, which can block your UV rays, or they can we can say pass the safe rays toward the skin, and they can block the unsafe rays. So such kind of filters are available in the we can say in your pharmaceutical industries. That are the organic as well as chemical type of filters are there. They are called as the compounds which can absorb the ultraviolet light, like oxybenzone. This is the one example. Then inorganic compounds are there, or the inorganic particulates material are there. They are having the ability to reflect the sunlight, or they can scatter the sunlight, and sometimes they may absorb the some amount of that light. Titanium dioxide and zinc oxide are the examples of such kind of inorganic particulate material which can have the ability to reflect the sunlight as well as they can scatter that sunlight, and some amount of light will be absorbed. So by this way they can protect your skin. Then other examples are organic particulate matters are there. They are mostly absorb the light like organic chemical compounds, but contain the multiple chromophores. They may reflect the light, and some amount of light may be absorbed. Example is the tinosorb M. So these organic compounds will play a role as like as the inorganic particulate matters. So these are the basic compounds we have to use along with your cream, along with your some lotions when we are using them into the sunscreen preparation. Then another way or the another principle of protection of your skin is the biologically effective substances. These kind of substances can be used effectively to prevent the symptoms of inflammation without reduction of the tanning. So generally these kind of substances or the preparations will avoid the inflammation of your skin. Even though suppose you are exposing to the sunlight, so they will avoid the further problems of your skin. Another principle of effectiveness of your sunscreen is that those substances we are using, they can cause or they can accelerate the tanning of your skin. When we are applying them, they will avoid the further problems of your skin, and they will make the complex with your coloring agents of your skin, and they can cause the tanning and by form the brown complex with your keratin of the your corneal layer of the skin. Now these are the ideal properties of your sunscreen preparations. Generally, they absorb the light uh, preferentially over the range of 382 to 399, 18 lambda max. Then they should be resistant to the water. They should be stable to the heat, light as well as the perspiration. Perspiration means when we are applying your preparation, so the your skin may cause the problem, or the your protective layer of that sunscreen lotion may get damaged because of the perspiration. Whatever the exudates are there from your skin, they may cause the. Then your preparation should have the odorless up, and it should be accepted by your user. Whenever you are applying that preparation, most of time we are applying it on the face as well as your hands, so that odor should not cause any kind of problem, or it should be most probably odorless. Then it should be non-toxic, non-irritant, and non-sensitizing to your skin, as well as it should be capable of retaining sunscreen property of your for the several hours. It means when you are applying it, so for the longer period purpose, it should give the protection. Then it should be stable under the condition of the use. It means at the higher temperatures, at the cold, whatever the weather is there, depending on that, it should be have the good stability. Then it should not stain to the your skin whenever we are applying the sunscreen preparations. And after that, suppose you want to wash out it, so it should be it should be easily wash out, as it should not release any kind of stain on your skin. Then it should not be rapidly absorbed by your skin. It means when you are applying it, so after the application, that whatever the lotion or the cream will be there, it should not be absorbed by your skin. Then it should be natural in neutral in nature. It means it should not cause any kind of problem with your skin, or whatever the physiological parameters of skins are there, so they should not be altered. Then it should be rapidly soluble in suitable vehicles. So whatever the vehicle is provided to wash out your sunscreen preparation, so that sunscreen vehicle should able to wash out your sunscreen preparation. So these are the ideal characteristics of your sunscreen preparations. Then classification of sunscreen preparations. So depending on the physical form, we can classify them into the opaque formulations. And in the opaque formulation, there are the titanium dioxide, talc, zinc oxide, ferric chloride, then ethiol, red petrol atom. These are the different types of physical classification is there. Then mechanism, depending on the mechanism, we can have the classification, that is the absorbers as well as the scatters. Then depending on the chemical nature, we can also have the classification of the sunscreen preparation. Then formulation contain the ingredients, depending on that name of that ingredients also, we can have the chemical classification. Then PABA, para amino benzoic acid esters, then benzophenols, cinnamates, salicylates. And the mechanism of this preparation is they can absorb the ultraviolet light. Then sunscreen agents are there, that is the para-amino benzoic acid. Just now we have seen this. This is the well-known ingredient we are using it, and it is having the ability to block the ray from the 200 to 320 nanometer. So it is most effective in nature, and it is having the good concentration, that is the 5% to 70%, 5% concentration of PABA we can use into the 70% ethanol. Generally it should be applied before the 60 minute. Matlab, it means before 1 hour we have to apply when you want to expose to the sunlight. So before the exposure of 1 hour we have to apply it. Sometimes this BA, or para-amino benzoic acid, may cause the stains to your clothes. Another one is the derivative of PABA, that is called as the PABA esters. It is having the same utilization. It is effective in 2.5% to 8% concentration in 65% alcohol. Then benzophenone is there. This is also one agent. We can use it as a sunscreen agent. It is used as a oxybenzone, dioxybenzone, sulfibenzone, and it is less effective than your paraminobenzoic acid. It can have the ability to absorb the sun rays of 250 to 400 nanometer spectrum or the wavelength. It can be sometimes combined with the PABA or the paraminobenzoic acid derivatives to give the good effect. It is beneficial to prevent the photosensitive reactions with your skin. Then cinnamates and salicylates are also there. They are not having that much effectiveness as like as your PABA, but in mild condition we can use them. Then anthralinates are there, which are minimal effective compared to the PABA, but for the normal conditions we can use them as a protective one. Now the SPF and important of the SPF. SPF means sun protective factor. When we are using your sunscreen preparations, so at which level they are having the ability to protect your skin, that is called as the sun protecting factor. So for every preparation, SPF is given or the SPF is calculated. So the when your skin is getting exposed to your sunlight or the ultraviolet light, then there is the, we can say, erythema can be developed because of the exposure of the ultraviolet light. So that erythema is called as the, we can say, at which level your erythema is developed. So depending on that erythema or depending on the seriousness of that erythema, we can find out the sun protective factor of your product. It means when you are using that product, at which level it is giving the protection to your skin, and at which level it is avoiding the erythema of your skin. So depending on that, we can find out the sun protective factor of your preparation, and we can assign that factor to that product, that this product is having the this much factor. Depending on that number of that factor, we can get the idea that this preparation is having the ability to protect your skin. This preparation is having the ability to stop the cancer or to avoid the cancer, or this preparation is having the ability to avoid the stain. So like that, we can say judgment we can take from that factor. So that factor is assigned to your product. Generally that factor is calculated by the two ways. First way is that we have to expose the skin of the human being to the ultraviolet light, and we have to note the possible erythema, or we have to note down the changes of that skin because of the exposure. And the next again is that we have to apply the preparation, and then again we have to export that skin to your ultraviolet rays, and then we have to check after some time that whatever the skin was exposed previously, it was developed erythema, and again next time suppose you are applying this preparation and we are exposing it to the sunlight, then what was the effect again is coming. So depending on that condition of that skin which was already protected, or that skin was applied with your skin's sunscreen preparation, and after that you have exposed it, but there was no any kind of effect occur on your skin. So by this way we can compare the both the skin, and we can find out the your SPF value, sun protection factor value of your preparation. So here we have to take the product of the MED PS and MED US. MED PS means minimum erythromal dose for the protected skin, and MED US means minimal erythromal dose of unprotected skin. It means how much amount of sun rays are required to give the erythema of your skin. See, these are the types of skin and their SPF factors. First is the type of skin is the first type, that is called as always burns easily and never tan. So this is the one skin, and this skin is having the SPF factor 8. Another skin is there, that skin is having the always burning sensation and they can tan very minimally. So this kind of skin is having the SPF factor of 6 to 7. This kind of skin is sensitive one. Another type of skin is the it burns very moderately and tans gradually. Such kind of skin is having the sun protective factor 4 to 5. So this skin is having the itself factor. So this kind of skin is called as the normal skin. Then another skin is there. It burns minimally and have the always tan well. So such kind of skin is called as 2 to 3 type of SPF factor. Another type of skin is fifth type. It is called as the barely burns and tans profusely. So it is having the SPF factor 2 and it is non-sensitive to the your sunlight. Another skin is there, that is the last type, sixth, sixth type of the your skin. It never burn and becomes deeply pigmented. So this kind of skin is not having the, any kind of protective factor and is not sensitive towards your ultraviolet light. Now the ingredients of your sunscreen preparation. Now depending on the your type of preparation, you are going to prepare for the sunscreen preparation purpose. So you may prepare the lotion, creams, or the any kind of liquid liniment. So such kind of preparation we can prepare by using the various kind of ingredient. Generally, other ingredients require are suitable base. Suitable base means what are the main vehicle of your preparation. So generally it can be used to make the final product of your aqueous or the alcoholic lotion. So suitable base we have to decide, like alcoholic preparation or the your whatever the fatty cream is there or oil is there or emulsion is there. So depending on your type of preparation, suppose you have chosen the cream, then you can choose the fatty type of material as a base. Then vehicle is there. Depending on your type of preparation, you can choose the vehicle. So it is the selection of that vehicle is depending on the other component. Which kind of components are there? Other components. So depending on that, we can choose the suitable vehicle. Then neutral oils are there. Sometimes we are using the natural type of oils like coconut oil, peanut oil, mustard seed oil. So depending on your preparation, we can choose the such kind of oils. Then antioxidants are there. It required to add the antioxidant to protect your preparation. The general procedure for the manufacturing of your sunscreen preparation. Now, depending on your type of preparation, we can have that kind of manufacturing process. So, creams are having the particular manufacturing process. Solution are having their manufacturing process. Then, oil type preparation like creams, lotions are there having their manufacturing process. So, most of the product of sunscreen product are simple type, cream type, lotion type, aqueous lotion type, or the gel are there. So generally, most of time we are mixing all the ingredients, and if it is required, we are dissolving them into the vehicle, and we are making a homogeneous preparation, and we are applying it on your skin. Now the evaluation of sunscreen factors or the evaluation of the sunscreen products. Generally, we are evaluating them for the spectrophotometric evaluation, then erythemal damage, sunscreen index, and in vivo skin testing. So under the spectrophotometric evaluation, generally we are preparing the whatever the solution, suspension, cream we have prepared. So we are going to check its lambda or the maximum length of absorption of the ultraviolet light in the spectrophotometer. So simply we have to prepare the solution of that product and we have to check its uh, lambda max inside the your spectrophotometer. When you are preparing the solution and we are taking the sample of that solution of your sunscreen preparation, just we have to keep it into the spectrophotometer and we have to observe its lambda max. It means at which wavelength it is absorbing the ultraviolet light of your spectrophotometer that we have to note down. So that is the, we can say, first test. Then erythromal damage. It means we have to find out that at which level it can cause the erythromal damage to your skin. Then sunscreen index. Sunscreen index means we have to find out the absorption of the ultraviolet light by your preparation by using the spectrophotometric instrument, and then we can compare it with the standard preparations which are having the, or which are we are using as a sunscreen preparation. So here just we have to go for the comparison of your product with the standard, and the method is the same as like as in the first test. Then into the in vivo skin testing, we have to check the any kind of problem of their. We have to check the effectiveness or the protective ability of your product by using the any kind of suitable animals. Generally, here we are taking your product and we are taking the animals. So, rabbit or the human beings also we can use for the testing purpose. So here backside we have to apply the preparation and we have to keep it as a sample, and another product, another human volunteer or the rabbit we have to take. Here we should not apply any kind of your product, just both the volunteers we have to expose to the sunlight, and we have to observe the effect where the you are not applied your sunscreen preparation, what kind of effects are there on the skin of that rabbit, and where we have applied your sunscreen preparation, what is the effect. When we are applying your sunscreen preparation, it means it is giving a protection to your skin. If the that rabbit which is exposed to the sunlight without any sunscreen preparation, suppose it is having the any kind of erythema, redness, and we have to note down that at which extent that edema is there. And again, whatever the sunscreen preparation we was applied to the animal, is there any problem, is there any erythema is developed? Suppose that skin is very much safe, then we can say that your preparation is having the ability to protect your skin from the rays. So this is the simple test we have to carry out. Now the advantages of sunscreen preparations are, they are having the, you can say, nano sun-sized particles. Then we can use them into the sport. Nowadays we are having the sunscreen sprays, very easily we can spray them. Another type of product are there, roll-on sunscreen are there, very easily we can roll on them onto your screen. Then for the child purpose also sunscreen preparations are available.